What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Layup Game, episode 81. This is the average man's perspective on football. I am your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey, hey, hey.
Next up is Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
And last but not least, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, boys. I'm the one selling the records.
That's an inside joke. We'll tell you about it. We'll tell you about it later. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching us on YouTube. We're also on Facebook in our Facebook group, The Layup Game. We're also on Twitter at The Layup Game 3. And we're also on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We got a lot to talk about. Training camp has started. The preseason starts in a couple of weeks. There will be audiences back in the stadiums again. So looking like things are back to normal, at least for now. You know, we never know about this new variant.
Right.
But Brian is hosting the show tonight. Brian, go ahead and kick us off.
All right, everybody. Thank you again, like Marcus said, for joining us. We know it's been a minute, but we appreciate you guys spending a little bit of time with us. We'll get started right into it with a little bit of NFL news. First thing is we want to, with a heavy heart, mention that Jets assistant coach Greg Knapp was struck by a vehicle and passed away days later from his injuries. So we just want to just quick moment of silence for Greg Knapp. All right. Next, a little bit of NFL business. All-pro linebacker Fred Warner signed a 5-year extension with the 49ers worth $95 million. 40.5 of that was guaranteed. Washington's tight end Logan Thomas signed a 3-year, $24 million extension with $10.3 million guaranteed. And some guy named Jonathan Allen signed a 4-year, $72 million deal with a $30 million signing bonus. We have no idea who he is, but congratulations for getting the money. Exactly. Nothing to say, Marcus? Okay.
No, I got nothing to say.
Okay. So some good news for NFL fans on Monday night who weren't particularly happy with the current crew. Monday Night Football will do an alternate broadcast with Peyton Manning and Eli, which should be very insightful. I do anticipate myself personally listening to their point of view. I've always thought that Peyton would be perfect for Monday Night Football, so I'm a little excited to see how this goes. And I can't lie, Eli's pretty funny too. Yeah. Frank Wright, quarterback Lamar Jackson, and running back Gus Edwards tested positive for COVID-19. Marcus. Never mind.
I got it.
Frank Wright was fully vaccinated, was asymptomatic, does not have symptoms, but had to stay away from the team. So he used it as a starting point, saying that basically that the vaccine is working, is doing its job. It's not going to prevent you from getting it again, but it'll help prevent you from having serious side effects because of it.
Or dying.
Yeah. I couldn't see in any articles if Lamar or Gus Edwards had been vaccinated yet.
I think it just came out that Lamar today that he got it.
He'd been testing negative up until today.
Yeah, they didn't say if he had had the vaccine or not.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he did, though.
I would think so as well, but you never know. most of the players that aren't really too active about it, except for Cole Beasley, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, what's the name? Say he doesn't want to get DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, he's been somewhat vocal about this.
No, but they came out and said that some people who know him say he's actually vaccinated already.
Oh, really?
That's why they was kind of like, why did he make that statement on Twitter?
Yeah. Oh well. Wide receiver Kelvin Benjamin was released by the Giants this week for stealing food from the facility for his family.
I didn't say that. Where'd you get the for his family part?
I don't know. He's taking it home.
They just said he was taking it home.
I figured he has a family. Man. You can steal all that food for yourself. You can stay there and eat it. Why you go take it home?
He was a big boy.
Yeah, he was a big wide receiver. He's a free agent wide receiver.
Well, he was a tight end. He came to
that's right. I'm sorry. You're right. He did get converted to tight end. You are correct. Michael Thomas may miss the first half of the season, recovering from ankle surgery from an ankle that he had actually injured and had repaired last year. Originally, the report was that he had to do some cleanup, but it was actually a little more involved, so he may miss half of the season. And finally, Xavier Howard, the best corner for the Miami Dolphins, has officially requested a trade, and at least 2 playoff teams have inquired about his price tag. He had just signed a pretty big deal a year or 2 ago, but was not happy with his contract. He had 10 interceptions last year, and wanted to try to rework his deal with the Dolphins, but the Dolphins was like, no, you signed this contract, so we'll stay with where you are. So we'll see how that develops. All right, so now we're going to get into the nitty gritty of our whole conversation here, which of course is related to both the spotlight quarterbacks in the NFL right now, Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson. On this rundown, we probably should just go Deshaun first. I think we'll probably all have more to say about this Rodgers development since it just kind of got into the news today. So if it's okay with y'all, let's start with Deshaun.
Okay.
So Deshaun Watson, as you guys know, wants to be traded from the Texans. When he wanted to be traded, there were all these charges against him about sexual harassment from various females who massaged him. He has consistently claimed his innocence throughout the whole process.
You made that sound so.
Huh?
You made that sound so dirty, bro.
You really did.
Y'all got dirty minds.
It wasn't nice. It wasn't pleasant.
The wording there could have been a little different.
No bad. So, long story short, Deshaun Watson, everyone was wondering what was going to happen when training camp starts. Well, training camp started, and he did show up. He didn't want to lose money. He wants to get it. And the NFL right now hasn't made a decision there. They're not going to suspend him. They haven't fined him. And there's a question if he'll be on that, what do you call it, Herman? The exempt list once the season starts.
Okay.
But he did show up.
Huh?
What's the name, Mark?
Okay.
No,
So,
I should say
okay. So he came to practice. The first day, I don't think he really did much, but they have reports today that he was actually under huddle, taking snaps
with the scout team.
With the scout team. So he still does not want to be there. So they kind of put him in a trick bag on what they can do with him. But he wants to be traded. The Texans have decided to trade him, but they want a ridiculous amount of compensation for this.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Well,
Rightfully, but maybe not realistically.
That's yeah. You can ask for the pie in the sky, but let's be a little realistic.
What are they asking for?
Herman, what is it? 3 first round draft?
Yeah, it's like they want at least five
first round players and
like high value players. And I think it was something like, and it could be anywhere between picks, starting caliber players, like that. Pretty much, Professor. They smoking.
So what do you Oh, okay. Thank you,
3
Derek.
firsts and 2 starters.
2 starters. Okay, yeah, I knew it was like a total of 5 starters.
Yeah.
So. What do you guys think about this situation? What do you think who is Texas?
Texans.
Just joshing. What do you guys think when this situation? How is it going to develop? What do you think he does? Does Deshaun Watson actually end up on this roster before all this is done? Let's start with Mark to see if his mic is working.
I don't know if his headphones working.
No, they are. He's on a delay.
Yeah, you, Mark, you.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, Deshaun does not want to be in Houston, and he's not going to be in Houston. The draft is gone by, and that was the opportunity to basically get the value you needed out of him that particular, before the draft. So I don't think he's going to be in Houston, to be honest with you. He the only 2 teams that really have the capital to even trade for him would be Denver and Miami Dolphins. I don't think that nobody else really has the capital, nor the players to trade to get him. He is at least a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He'd be worth a first-round pick, but as far as like the rest of the at least 2 starters, 3 top 5 players, I'm not too sure about that one. But I guess we're gonna see. But I don't see Deshaun finishing out this season playing in Houston.
So, do you think that something will get done that maybe the Texans will come to their senses and get this guy on another roster this year, or do you think that they, I don't really know what else could they do with him? I mean, could they put him on?
They're not going to get what they're asking for.
So when they don't get what they're asking for, and he's still on the roster, where do they put him? I mean, is he backup? Is he a starter? Is he on the team?
He's a starter, in my opinion. If Deshaun shows up, even though he doesn't want to be there, they say he's being very professional about it, and he's willing to play. I'm going to play him because if all this stuff can get worked out, and he has a good season, his value goes back up. Now, will they get 3 first rounders and 2 starters? I don't know. They're going to have to come down off of that. It's going to be a negotiation. But I'm not putting him on the bench. He's not. I mean, the only person that, I think they got Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
They could roll with Tyrod if they wanted to, but that's a lot of money to be paying a dude sitting on the bench.
Yeah, but that's kind of what they were trying to do was actually get Tyrod the reps. To get him started for the season, because their initial plan was to get him started. I don't think that they really thought that it was going to get to this point where he had to come to training camp. But then again, with the choices that they're making, maybe they did. Because
maybe. But the NFL said that right now he's free to practice and he's free to play. So, which is odd because they don't always take that approach.
Yeah.
In these situations.
Especially with as many charges as he has on him.
Well, he's got 10 criminal charges, and then you still got the 20-something civil suits.
Right.
But it's like a no-win situation for the NFL when you think about it, because while you can do, you are a corporation, they can punish people the way they want. But you can't get into the habit of punishing your employees when nothing's been proven.
Right.
I mean, you lose half your league if every time somebody came out and said, "Hey, such and such did this or that to me." So yeah, and like Professor Jay said, it hasn't actually been formal charge. There's supposed to be some charges coming from what they said, or complaints. Okay, so let me correct that. Formal complaints with the police department, not charges, because the police department has to interview this or investigate this stuff. But I don't know, for the Texans, man, you got to show that he can still play. People got to know he can still play. But people are a little worried about a player when they've taken a year off too. You know what I mean? So if he can show that he can still play, and he gets that stuff cleared up. They're going to get at least 2 first rounders for him, a third, and maybe a top, starting player. and they can move on from that. The question is how's Deshaun going to play?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. So that's the question that's in hand. And what if Deshaun doesn't want to play?
He'll play because you don't want that stigma on you either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you just don't. He can't look like that as a player and expect to get traded. And yeah, like Professor Jay said, nobody is going to touch him right now. You'd be a fool to touch him right now.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's like right now, like he had leverage back when he first said he didn't want to be there, but as soon as the charges came out,
it was a wrap.
It was a wrap because like you said, nobody would touch him right now because if he winds up on the exempt list or any of those criminal charges wind up sticking, then they're definitely not going to get those. Texas definitely not going to get what they're asking for. Definitely at that point. And I agree with Mark. Probably maybe Denver would be in the best position to get him. They have
Denver would be a playoff team if they got him right now.
Yeah, they would be. They would definitely be contenders if they got him. Kansas City would have something to worry about, but the price they're asking for, and until this stuff is settled, it's I can't see him being traded. At least not for not for what they're asking for.
Oh yeah, I agree. And to answer Professor J, this came from the Texans. This is all they did this, and they said you want to leave, and you think you're just going to get away, and we're going to ruin you. And you guys talked about this last night on Post. Deshaun Jackson had the cleanest record. You didn't hear nothing about this guy.
Deshaun Watson.
John Watson. I'm sorry. You never always do that. You never heard nothing about him until he said, "I want to leave Houston." As soon as he said, "I want to leave Houston," all this just came up out of nowhere.
Well,
it's
I agree, but I also take the stance that, come on, Deshaun, do you really need 38 different damn masseuses? I'm twice his age. I haven't had that many damn barbers in my damn lifetime. 38. Why you need that many masseuses? And
he's an NFL football player.
Get one that you like and stick
with
a
smart man would.
Yes. You don't need to try out the whole every masseuse in damn Houston. Pick one you like and stick with her.
So ho. You're 20-some-year-old famous NFL quarterback, and some beautiful woman wants to come and massage out your pains, and you're gonna be like, "Nah, I got one. I'm good."
No, I don't. First of all, I don't think it was like that. He sought them out.
No. I think that some
he sought after them. He went after.
I think some of the ones that he was working with when they weren't available recommended other masseuses to him. It's like so. It's like you can't just look in. I'm sure he wasn't just looking in the phone book like, "Oh, let me get this one. Let me get this one." You know what I'm saying? So.
But why are they? If you're a masseuse to football stars, I'm sure they pay enough money. You should always be available. Well, at least you should be available. But still, that's not 30. That's not okay. So that's not 37 references right there.
How do you know that? Truthfully, do we know that he really even was involved in all 37 of these? Like, isn't that?
Well, okay. So I say 38 because I forget the number. It's not 38 complaints. But they were I guess they were 20 something, and then he had 18 come out and say,
oh yeah, you're right.
He
was never a problem.
Yeah, he was never a problem. Dude, why do you need that many? Pick one, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know, but I know when famous people they find a barber they like, that's pretty much exclusive to their barber. They fly them out, fly them to shows and all this stuff.
It's a little different though.
It's
barber's different.
That's the reference.
Yeah, it's a little different.
You
can't let anybody cut your hair.
You say, Marcus, you provide the service.
Yeah, you can't, and obviously you can't. If you Deshaun Watson, you can't just let anybody rub on your leg after the football game. Okay, I've been a huge fan of Deshaun Watson. I still am, but come on, dude. You don't need that many damn.
So let me ask you this: you found out that Peyton Manning had multiple masseuses, or any other. In fact, you're 5 or 6 different quarterbacks. It's not an uncommon thing. Then what?
38.
There's 52 cities. There's 52 cities. You got some in each city.
You don't need no some of these. And doesn't the organization provide?
Yeah, it's 32 teams, so you got a
so they
couple
don't-
backups
they
in there.
provide,
That makes a perfect sense.
Obviously, they don't provide just one. They probably have a network of masseuse.
Yeah, I mean, he probably just goes in there and gets a massage, and whoever's there just does it.
But 38, that's a lot.
The biggest thing, though, is that from what I've heard on these reports, that if any NFL team was interested in him, they've already done their due diligence on the background of the situation. So if they pull the trigger on it, they feel comfortable that Deshaun Watson is not going to miss any time on the NFL field because of this problem.
His lawyer don't seem to be too worried about it.
He doesn't. And speaking of that, the NFL security people are looking into it too. And man, their security people are the real deal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and they're not, putting them on the exempt list. So
Right.
They obviously found some things too.
Yeah.
And back at one point they were saying that some of those civil suits were going to wind up having to go away anyway because those masseuses was doing it illegally.
Yes.
They weren't licensed to be doing that stuff.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
So,
if we look at what's best for Deshaun, he definitely got to Texas because Texans is a trash fire. They're not, even with him there as the quarterback, they're not a contender anymore.
No.
Not at all. The Colts the Titans. You're not. Texans are not.
Yeah, especially because I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what they did with their defense this year. If they've done anything to improve that.
Yeah, depending on what Trevor Lawrence does in Jacksonville, Texas might be last in the division this year.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
They either gonna be.
Yeah, I definitely could see them two battling it out for last place.
Yeah, they're gonna be 3 or 4, but it's right now it's the Colts and the Titans division. So he might as well leave because even with them there, they're not doing anything. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think if he gets to play though this year, or if that opportunity comes up or whatever, the best thing for him is he has to play and play well. He can't go out there.
Be tough because you're going somewhere when the season probably already started. You're going to miss probably training camp and everything, and he has to learn a new playbook. It's probably going to be tough for him to play as well as he did last year. New players, new teams. I mean, this is the time he should be doing all that.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Darren. I agree with you, Darren. They'll probably be last place in the division.
Yeah,
probably be last place.
Yeah. I ain't too fond of rookie quarterbacks though, especially with all that hair. That's him. That's him. Mark, you've been kind of quiet. Is it because your mic ain't working, or you good?
Well, I'm cool. We good.
I'm cool. We good. All righty then.
All right. So we left. Well, I guess we should probably get into this NFL rules with COVID. Thank you. So the COVID rules this year for these unvaccinated players is the NFL pressuring its players and coaching staffs and all employees actually to be vaccinated with the rule changes that they've made and implemented this year, or are they just being a protective of their brand?
They are pressuring them, and they should be pressuring them, and they are being protective of their brand.
Yeah, it's all one big thing.
Yeah, it's all one big thing. Yeah, they are pressuring, and they should be pressuring them. I mean, come on, man. One of the biggest disease hotspots in the world is a damn locker room.
Yeah,
come on. So yes, they need to be vaccinated. And listen, okay, I know you may have a stance about vaccination or whatever. I understand that, and that's your right. But also, a company has a right to protect its product and to protect its other employees. So you don't have to play for the NFL. So you can do something else. You can go work at the grocery store. Do whatever. But but it's funny. Like I heard this comment say, actually, skip that because now I forget what it was. But yes, it's pressure, and they should be pressuring. There's no reason why you shouldn't be getting the vaccination if you're going to go play. Like I said, locker room is one of the most notorious hotspots for disease. So, and you're getting paid big time money. You know, and like players always complain about, oh, I can't afford to miss this money, this paycheck, and this and that. And well, then get your little vaccination and play and get your money. But you know, just because you like I said, you have every right to not want to take the vaccination, but then go do something else.
Mark, you want to chime in?
Hey, as of yesterday, what the NFL 85% of their players have been vaccinated. One of the big culprits is the Washington team that had less players getting a vaccination. Man, to me, it's simple as this, man. You want to play, you want to be healthy, you want to be out there, get a vaccination shot. And I think like at least have one type of form of the shot. But man, you got to do your job, man. You got to protect yourself as well as your family and other people around you. It ain't just about you. So you just got to go out there and do it.
Yeah, that's my thing too. What you just said, Mark. I got vaccinated because I had to go into work, and I knew that I was going to be around people. And while I could catch it, I was trying not to bring anything home to my family. So, and I was the first one in my immediate family to get vaccinated, right? Let them see that it was safe, you know, and then they started to follow along too. These players, man, they get to play for one. They play a game for a living, and they get paid well to do it. And they have some of the best doctors in the world that operate on them, take care of them and everything. And they're giving them the information that they need. And if you don't feel like you're getting the information you need from that doctor, you can do the research yourself. You got money to inquire from other doctors. There's all kinds of resources out there for you to figure it out. I think Cole Beasley said something today about players need to get the best information or be as informed as possible. Man, if I could see Cole Beasley on the street, I would slap him in his face and tell him to shut the F up for real. He was like, he forgot where he came from. This is the same dude who was quitting in the NFL, but then came back to be a star. And he's acting like a little, I'm not gonna say it, but he's acting like that's what he's acting like. And it's like, dude, you get paid to do this, and they're giving you the information you need. Millions of people are being vaccinated. Millions of people ain't dying from the vaccine. Millions of people ain't getting sick from the vaccine. The people that are dying from COVID. Point blank, period. They're dying because they're not vaccinated. And we know that the vaccine doesn't keep you from getting the virus, but it helps keep you from getting the virus, and it keeps you from getting deathly ill. It's ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous to me. And I'm glad to see that the NFL is going to do the things they're going to do. They're, they plan on submitting the players to more testing and also wearing tracking monitors. And it says if players refuse to wear those, they're going to get a $50,000 fine for refusal to submit to virus testing. And
now, these are ones that aren't
vaccinated.
Okay.
And $14,650 if they refuse to wear the tracking monitor and not follow like rules like you can't go to bars, concerts.
I was just about to say that.
And sporting
clubs.
Yeah, all that type of stuff. You know? So you talking about you want to live your life? Go get vaccinated. It's as simple as that. Quit being stupid. So I'm glad to see the NFL doing this. And you work for them. You don't want to work for them, like Marcus said. Go get another job. Sure hope you finished college and got your degree.
Yeah, I think we're all in accord on this one. Basically, it's a good idea. The NFL is approaching it the right way. Not only are they protecting their players and their staff, but they're also protecting their brand. We can't go through another season like last year where the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers don't play on Thanksgiving because of a COVID outbreak, and there's no other teams you can just up and say, hey, well, we're going to put you in that spot. We just didn't get football that night. Now, that might be a selfish on me, but I enjoy football. I want to watch football, and I want them to do whatever they can so I can continue to watch football. So I'm happy. I feel confident that we'll get through all these games this year. Apparently, there's forfeitures involved if your team does not if your team is the fault of the COVID, because they can't play because of your team fails a COVID thing. So I think that's a smart thing to do too. And it's the safety. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that's been getting it done now. I did it. I didn't want to be a zombie, but my 3 counterparts did it, so I had to do it too. And I mean, like I said, I haven't had any side effects, seen anything bad going on. I just feel more confident and safer that if for some reason I should contract this thing, that I won't die from it. That I might have just a cold, which is basically what it should be, not, giving me, respiratory failure. So I definitely think it's a good idea what the NFL is doing. They're putting more pressure on these players, but I guess I've yet to see or hear a legitimate reason why not. I need more information. I just would like a better dialogue from those who choose not to. There's specific reasons why I don't want to take this. What's going to happen to me? What can happen to others? I'd like that information. I mean, I have the vaccination now, but it would be nice to know. I still have children that are about to get it. And if it's something really serious, then maybe I would hold fast on them.
I found it interesting. I saw this. I was reading something about the players not wanting to take it, and there was a quote in the article, whatever it said. These players will take 40 different supplements a day that they don't know what it does to their body, but they won't take a shot that has scientifically been proven to be safe.
That isn't proven by the FDA.
Right.
Yep.
So they just taking stuff, but they won't take this. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, they be on the sideline hurting something. The doctor say, "I'm gonna give you this." Okay,
right.
As long as I can play. So
crazy.
We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're all in accord. We think that the NFL is doing the right thing. Again, for their brand, doing the right thing for their players, and doing the right thing for their fans. We get to go to see football this year, everybody. The stadiums will be open.
Yeah.
So, and that was like one of the big things that the players were talking about last year. The season was just different. It just they feed off of the fans and the roar of the crowd, and it's just a different game without it. Even like right now, I don't know if you guys are watching the Olympics, it's just different because they don't have fans there. So,
yeah.
But I didn't want to be remiss to say, Rev J, he said that the Washington football team is only at 50%, which is, like he said, horrible.
You ain't got to repeat that.
Horrible. You should put that up there like, you do other stuff.
I did put up this. There you go.
Oh, there you
But
go.
how do you think that makes Ron Rivera feel? Because
He's hot. He's
got
hot.
over this cancer thing, and he's like immune deficient.
Yes.
So I mean, like, I wouldn't even want to be around my players. I'm like, yo, like, back up off me, please, because I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary for him, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he probably has to walk around. I haven't seen their practices. He walk around with a mask on, Marcus?
I haven't watched the practice.
He probably does.
Probably got a mask and a whole helmet on.
Right.
I would think he do.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm still vaccinated, but sometimes, a lot of times I still.
Oh yeah, I wear my mask. I went in the store one time without my mask on, and it felt weird. And people were getting too close. And I
You
was
start
like,
looking around, you're like, damn, they got a mask.
right. And look, people getting close. I'm like, get away, please.
Yeah, it's just a side note. I went to church last Sunday, and I wasn't sure, and I didn't have a mask in the truck. So I got there. I said, well, they let me in. If not, I'll go next thing. So I'm walking up, and everybody has masks. I'm like, dang, I ain't gonna get in. And then when I got to the door, the gentleman opened the door. He had no mask on, so I was like, okay, I'm good.
Didn't you feel naked though without it?
Yeah, it felt weird. Weird, but everybody was like distanced. It's not as crowded as normal. So, we're changing.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation that we wanted to have, which has to do with the Green Bay Packers and this Aaron Rodgers saga. If you guys have been watching the show, you know we've had conversations about Aaron and his stance and not being in practice and not coming back to the team and wanting the general manager fired and who else? Somebody else he wanted fired. Well, it all came to a head. What was that? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Came ahead yesterday. He did show up for the first practice, and there were cameras everywhere. He did speak today and explain his situation, what he's unhappy with. He basically blasted the Packers. He didn't hold back at all. He basically let them know how he didn't feel. He felt like they drafted his replacement. So B, there was also some players that were, in his mind, they should have consulted him about before just releasing or not offering a contract or offering a lowball contract. He just went on and on and went on and on about his grievances. It's fairly obvious that him and Devontae Adams, this will probably be their last year. If any of you are on, was it Twitter or Instagram? Well, they both posted.
It was on Instagram.
I think it was Instagram. They both posted a picture of The Last Dance with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, basically insinuating that, hey, we're going to play this year, and then after this, we're going to roll out, which is, kind of sad for Green Bay fans. When I was listening to Rodgers, I mean, I really felt he was being sincere. I think he really loves that team. I think he loves that staying in Green Bay. I think he loves playing there. And I think he feels like most quarterbacks do, that he should have some type of say. Now, that's kind of based on the team. And he did get Randall Cobb back. They did throw that bone to him today from the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Because he was heated because he got traded to us. And he was heated when that happened. Then he went to the Texans. So, what do you guys think about this situation? What's the future with Aaron Rodgers? Is he resolved? Are they playoff bound? What's going on? What y'all think?
I think this is his last season there. I think then he'll probably be out next season. Yeah, that's it. I think this is the last. I mean, because obviously he's frustrated. He doesn't. He came back, but I doubt he really wants to be there. But after the season he had last year, where he's reigning MVP, what good does it do you to sit out? And I don't feel like if he would have said it would have hurt him. I mean, people still want him after after this season. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's a whole. It was much ado about nothing. All this talk during the off season. Is he going to show up? Is he not going to show up? Is he going to show up? He's not going to be part of the Packers. And then it just seemed like at the last minute, hey, I'm here. Like, dude, okay. I mean, and I admire Aaron Rodgers' ability as a quarterback, but he's a diva. He's a straight diva. Like I said, he makes wide receivers look like model citizens. I mean, but I doubt. I mean, of course, Green Bay want to keep him. Of course, the fans want to keep him. You don't give up a Hall of Fame quarterback, unless you're the Patriots. But, he doesn't. He's even after this thing today, he doesn't seem happy there. He'll probably be gone next year.
So you wouldn't have wanted to keep him?
So what?
You wouldn't want to keep him?
Yeah, of course. Who would want to keep him? But Green Bay might have a certain, once come a certain point relationship where it's not healthy for anybody. It's toxic.
So do you think that what he was requesting was unreasonable in his stature as a quarterback?
No, not really. I mean,
the reason why I'm mad because you said he was a diva and he's all drama. So I'm trying to.
But he is a diva. I don't feel what he was asking for was out of question, or they shouldn't be asking for it. But he is a diva. I mean, come on now. He is a diva. But
where is he a diva? Where's his diva ways?
Come on, man. Come on, man. He's all.
You can't just keep saying, "Come on, man." You gotta give me some type of example. That
Aaron Rodgers always.
I mean, I could be like, Marcus, you're a racist. Come on, man. Racist.
It's just a whole way he carries himself. He doesn't seem to get along well with anybody. I don't know. He doesn't
Is that
belong
true
with-
though? Because is that true? Because his other players seem to love him.
Well, not his family.
Yeah, his family don't.
You know,
I mean,
A lot of
look.
ex-players don't like him afterwards.
That's different. That's different.
We all got family we don't get along with. But I mean, maybe he is being a little bit of a diva. I mean, maybe he's not. But if you think about it, the Packers have this track record where they don't operate right with their quarterbacks coming to the end of their careers. This is like we're watching Brett Favre all over again. And I think that Rodgers had a point, them drafting his replacement when they could have been drafting weapons. They're still right there in Super Bowl contenders, not just playoff contenders. They're still Super Bowl contenders, and you're wasting draft picks on developing a quarterback.
who, according to everybody, he doesn't even look that good.
Right. So I mean, you think about what you could have got and helping to keep loading your team, and it's they're in a pattern. They do this. This is what they do, And he in his presser he talked about them getting rid of some of their players like Charles Woodson and Jordy Nelson and all that, and I was just reading through some of what he talked about, but those were moves he didn't agree with, and they didn't talk to him. They emptied out the cupboard and left him standing there.
But did they?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, Green Bay has always been a double-digit winning team in the playoffs.
And why?
Yeah,
it ain't because they got a dominant running back. It's not usually because they got a dominant wide receiver. It ain't a dominant defense they doing it with.
Well,
are we really going to say Eddie Lacy wasn't a dominant running back?
Oh God, no!
No.
Oh God,
He just had one good season.
He did have one. It was one.
Yeah, it might have been half.
It might have been more than one. Maybe.
Last good running back I remember they had was Ahman Green.
That's a while ago.
That's a while ago.
Everything that Green Bay accomplished.
Herman, you.
Go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
He's delayed.
I mean, you hit some stuff. You hit on the head about Green Bay. This is what they created. Aaron Rodgers been playing this whole entire season with a chip on his shoulder. He was drafted as Brett Favre's replacement, and he's still. They have.
Real quick, was Dorsey Levens playing with? I think he played with Favre.
Yeah, he did. He was that Super Bowl. He was in that Super Bowl.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I'm saying, Green Bay, and I think they play. I think Green Bay organization plays off this too. They like having the pressure on the quarterback to make sure he can perform. You got a guy who just won the MVP of the NFL. You are actually one play away from going to the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. They need to get this man whatever he asks for, whatever he wants. They need to give it to him.
Exactly.
Even by signing Randall Cobb, he's only gonna be this is a one and done deal.
Yeah.
So I think Green Bay is crazy to not put the wagon with Aaron Rodgers, give him what he want, and let the man ride it out. That's what they should be doing.
And speaking on that, let's be Green Bay. You've had 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback, and you only got 3 Super Bowl appearances and 2 Super Bowl wins. So
that's crazy.
You're going to need to do something because you're not going to have a third Hall of Fame quarterback in a row.
Like most teams don't hit on 2 in a row. Who does that?
They've literally had 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback. And like I said, 3 Super Bowl appearances and 2 Super Bowl wins. So you better do something.
Y'all think that
you don't have that much time.
You think that Green Bay is in this situation because like the way that their ownership situation is set up?
Yes, because I think if there was an owner involved, he would have told that general manager, "You better make that dude happy."
Right, not
whatever
just
you got to do.
Yeah.
You make that dude happy. And the way that it's set up now, there's nobody there to do that.
Wow, that's crazy. right there. But yeah, it's their ownership situation. I think plays a role because it's like Marcus said. You've had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks
Back to back.
Back to back. You were drafting good. You kind of knew what you were doing. You might have lucked up with Rodgers because he's no way, obviously, he should have ever felt that far. But this is crazy. It's just crazy, and it's the exact same madness we saw with Brett Favre. Now, if let's say Love winds up becoming a good starting quarterback, becomes a star in the league. If we see this again with Green Bay, it's just a trend.
I'm gonna have to disagree with y'all on this, on y'all bashing them about Brett Favre. Brett Favre was the diva. Brett Favre was, I'm tired, I'm retiring. I'm coming back. I'm retiring again. I'm coming back. And then Green Bay just got tired of it. But Green Bay dealt with Brett Favre's divaness long enough until they decide, you ain't gonna keep playing these games.
Well, he was mad for the same reason Aaron Rodgers mad. They
drafted Aaron Rodgers. That's why
he drafted replacement. That's why he was mad.
Yep.
Yes.
I guess, but it was still a little different situation.
That's when he started acting the fool as soon as they drafted Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly when he started acting the fool.
It all went down.
But they bent over backwards for Favre. They kept putting Rodgers on the back burner to let Favre come back when he decided and stuff. So they did all they could, and then finally it was just like enough is enough. We got to put our foot down. So it's a little different situation.
He just wanted to hold him at bay. You wanted them to want him.
Yeah, but you remember, Herman, they used to have like TV crews sitting in Mississippi waiting to decide what Favre was going to do and all this other dumbness.
But again, it plays out this way because of the ownership situation.
Yeah.
Because if I own the team, it's going to be, you're going to make it, and that's it. And just like you said, if there was a true owner for the Packers, I feel like they'd have been like, give Aaron Rodgers what he wants. Yeah. This dude is carrying this team.
Yeah, this situation it would never have happened on any other NFL team. No. Maybe the Patriots. Maybe.
No, because think about it. It didn't really happen with the Patriots.
Washington.
Put your hand down, Mark. Nothing happened over here.
I can't agree with that.
They would never have a Hall of Fame quarterback, man. So it'll never happen there. Don't worry about that.
Go ahead and start thinking about them.
The rejects. Yeah, and how about you talking about players not liking him. Devontae Adams seemed to like him because he sure enough broke off his contract talks and was like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, and more than likely they're going to lose both of them, and they're going to be a dumpster fire next year.
But you know what? They might as well just at some point you do have to rebuild. You can't, as long as they've been successful, at some point you're going to have to rebuild.
So has the report come out now that he is going? This is his last year. Did he resign?
Who? Rodgers?
The Packers.
They voided the last year of his deal.
They did.
Okay. But from my understanding, they voided the last year of his deal. I think is what they said.
Okay.
And they can't franchise him.
So they're basically going to this is it.
Yeah, which is
nothing for him.
So how dumb is that? Right. When they could have traded him and got a haul and just said, you know what, let's just pull the trigger and start the rebuild.
It's a one and done year. It is a one and done year.
Yeah.
That definitely was dumb to go through all this and get nothing for him. Yeah,
unless they trade him in the middle of the season. But I think he even has a say in if he gets traded. And who he would go to, from my understanding.
And why would you give them anything in the middle of the season when you know at the end of the season he's going to be a free agent?
Let's say
unless you didn't want to go through the battle,
right? Because it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, it's crazy, but the things is like okay, he's upset about some things, but some people just ain't built for that. Maybe he's not good with player personnel. Who knows? Maybe that's why they chose not to tell him about certain things or ask for his input on certain things, because they probably already know.
But even if you ask, isn't it a sign of a little bit of respect? And we say, yeah, we looked into it, but we decided to go a different way with that.
Yeah, but the question is, you did that. Then how does he react then? I mean, he's reacting this way now. What is he going to do? Well, I'm not playing. You know, what if he's going to react in some form or fashion? How does he react?
Honestly, doesn't matter. He's carrying your team to deep into the playoffs almost every year.
So is he bigger than the team?
You take him off the team and you ain't got the success you're getting.
It's not the question I asked you.
It's not about being bigger than the team. If you just
That's basically what you're saying. You're
not letting him make the choices. You're giving him input.
So that list of players that he had. Hey, Aaron, you know, we about to let Charles Woodson go. No, you can't let Charles Woodson go. Well, we're letting him go. That's gone. You know, they ain't listen to me. Then whoever else, John Coombs, who what's the white wide receiver?
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson. Then I mean, they just click. Man, they ain't listening to me. Why should I even care? I mean,
But at some point, they may have at least they could have kept one or two that he wanted to keep. You keep that. You keep the man. I mean, we all know the quarterback. They're the blamed for everything, and they, you know, some of them.
I'm sorry.
Basically.
Hey man, the Bengals, y'all keep sleeping. The Bengals gonna be nice this year.
They might be, but
I think they're gonna be
the
nice
Bengals of old.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what? If you're going to let one player at least have some type of say, it would be Aaron Rodgers. It would be Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it just is what it is. The last thing you want to do is be like the Patriots and watch them go to another team and win a Super Bowl.
That is true. That is true.
If they didn't learn from that, like I don't know what the deal with Brady was. I guess that might have been we'll just mutually agree and nobody really try to work that out. But.
Yeah, and you know, Bill is known for letting good players go early. So
Belichick wanted Brady out of there a long time ago. He wanted Garoppolo.
When he wanted Garoppolo, yeah.
But you see, Robert Kraft said, and
he was right.
It made them work it out for a little bit longer. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like Green Bay, they probably should have catered to Aaron Rodgers a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It should have never really come to this, and especially after the fact you had such a good season the last 2 years you were in the championship game.
Yeah.
So you should have been more focused on that. And I do agree with Aaron. They should have been way more focused on making that team better for him.
Yeah, then
get over that hump.
Yeah,
you've never heard of a team make it to the championship 2 years in a row, and then they're going to lose their MVP quarterback the next year. That's crazy. That is crazy.
And time is running out for Green Bay.
Yeah,
Brady or
Green Bay.
Oh yeah,
time is running out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So this actually may be their last year.
This is
their last year.
No doubt. Unless Love, is the second coming.
Right, and that's probably not.
That's not. Yeah, I doubt it. I don't think he's gonna be the second coming.
I don't see it either.
Yeah. All right, Mark, you got everything out that you needed to say on the subject?
Wait for it.
Oh yeah, I mean we touched on everything. I agree. He's your MVP. You can't slight your MVP. You gotta take care of him.
But Marcus is right. He is a diva. I was just messing with Marcus.
I mean, you know what? I think like somebody in the chat said it might have been Professor J, but all these star players are divas.
Yeah. But I do agree with a lot of what he was saying. I didn't think what he was asking was unreasonable, depending on how he acted. If they did acquiesce to his,
I wonder, was he willing to give up money for them to help with the cap so that they could stay? Because
Brady always was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but Brady would sign friendly deals at his time.
Yeah,
to make sure. Wasn't it? He broke the bank.
Yeah, he did break the bank a couple times.
And he always had backup because he's married to a very rich woman, richer than he is. So.
Yeah, that's true.
He can afford to be worried about finance.
Right. I ain't worried about that.
I mean, as long as he stays married,
Well, she got more than him, so he should be
Yeah,
able
but
to
I'm
get
saying if she
alimony.
leaves,
He should be able to get alimony.
he's stupid.
He should be able to get alimony.
He has me accustomed to this lifestyle, Your Honor. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, he came out and I mean, I'm glad that this saga is over because it was getting a little ridiculous, a little redundant. We don't know how the Deshaun Watson saga is going to end. That one will still continue. But we had a good.
No matter how it ends, Houston's going to be a dumpster fire. For a while.
Yeah, it looks like both of those franchises are going to definitely take a few steps back from the pack and have to rebuild and reload. Looks like Houston's probably going to draft a quarterback. They didn't draft one this year, right?
I don't think so.
Don't
They just drafted a bunch of. I mean, they just signed a bunch of free agents.
Yeah, matter of fact, I don't even think they had a number one draft pick if memory serves.
They didn't. They
didn't.
Yeah. So we'll see how everything goes. Mark's favorite ex coach calls all that problems with the Texans. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely 100%.
Okay. So we didn't get any Bills information in there for Herman, which is kind of sad. We never got to say who the MVP was supposed to be.
You mean the MVP candidate, Josh Allen?
There it is.
Yeah, candidate. Isn't that just like a Academy Award nominee?
Hey, Steve, it's an honor to be nominated.
You
know that but they say that in movies when they announce it, they do.
Movies they do, but they don't say that. They won't be calling Josh Allen the MVP candidate from last year.
He'll be one this year too.
Nah,
he'll be one this year too.
Just real quick, did you see the last post about Rodgers?
Yeah.
And he did say that too. He said something to the fact, they were upset, so they tried to throw some money at me.
Yeah.
Basically, how you put it.
Yeah, they tried to make him the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Yeah, again, because they was like, "Oh, Rodgers is upset. Let's give him some money," which is kind of really demeaning, especially for somebody with Rodgers' intellect. He knows and he did say, hey, and I love the franchise, and they've given me a lot of money. They really haven't done me wrong monetarily, But I guess he just wants some respect. And it seems like this is becoming the new trend with a lot of these NFL quarterbacks now, wanting to get more say in the picking of the players and all this stuff.
Most definitely.
Yeah, if you find yourself carrying a team.
That was part of Deshaun's problem. You remember he wanted some input on the head coach.
I mean, he was getting killed because they weren't putting no offensive line in front of him too.
Yeah, I mean, they traded
the best
top receivers in the doggone league away for some garbage for nothing. What quarterback wouldn't be pissed with that?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it looks like it's a new trend. I mean, it's pretty prevalent in basketball, but I guess it's starting to become a little bigger in football.
Yeah, definitely. The Brady effect.
All right, so we had a pretty good show. I guess we'll go ahead and say our final words, and we'll go ahead and get out of here. And we might actually get out of here on time. Look at this. I'm proud of you fellas. You long-winded dudes, you.
It's the host's job.
Yes, I did a good job. Let me pat myself.
Okay,
Good
play
job.
it again, Marcus.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
All right, we're going to get our final words, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Marcus, you got something you want to say?
So I really don't pay that much attention to training camp and really not much in preseason. I didn't know that the Washington football team was only 50% vaccinated. If y'all don't take y'all bus down there and get them doggone shots, stop
They
messing
ain't
around.
got to go nowhere. They bring them to them.
Right.
Whatever. Come on. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Come on, you were the division winner last year. You need to be an example for the rest of the division. Okay?
Oh my God, I can't believe he threw that out there. Herman, get your boy. Mark, get us back on track.
Hey man, I just want to say I'm happy to be here with you guys again for this is our 5th year we did it.
No.
I think it's the fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth.
It's
Yes,
fourth.
the fourth.
Okay, fourth year we did it. None of us had any serious issues with this corona. And it's brilliant. Got to say what's up to the fifth Beatle, Mr. Morey. You get here on the show, Morey. We got to see more of you this particular season. But
Yeah.
I'm just honored to be back again. I'm looking forward to the football season to get started again. Let's get to it, y'all.
Yeah, I just wanted to again thank everybody for joining us. We missed it. We're glad to be back. The shows will be going a little more frequently now. We'll get our preseason show going in there. Start making our predictions.
When does
For those
preseason
who
start?
August, yeah, fair. Okay,
Oh, that's right around the corner.
yeah.
That's next week.
Pittsburgh College played the Hall of Fame
Yeah,
game.
the Hall of Fame game.
Okay.
Herman, are we still doing a league this year, or are
Yeah,
we doing
yeah.
picks this year?
Yeah, we're gonna do the picks again this year, the delay game picks. Hopefully, we can get more people to jump in there and see if they can beat us with the picks. Of course, we're gonna do our league stuff too.
And we might actually have a prize for the person who wins this year.
Yeah, we can do that if we get enough competition in there.
Yeah, we're also going to introduce a couple of new things. We got the hat, the dunce hat. We're also going to have a different type of hat for the people who go lone wolf but predict it correctly.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that in the memo.
that's because you the producer. Okay, we the talent. You the producer.
We had a talent meeting.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a different type of hat so that you'll wear that when you are the right guy, which makes it, you're the smartest, not the dumbest. But we're planning on doing a lot, having going out, doing some things. We are going to be out the first game of the season, the Cowboys against the Buccaneers. We're not sure where, but as soon as we know, we will let you know. And on a personal note, I just want to thank God. He's really been looking out for me, got me and my family in our home again. And it's done just so much for me, and I'm just so blessed. My oldest daughter is about to go to college, so a lot of things going on, and I've been blessed by God. I just want to thank Him and thank Him for my health and thank Him for my friends.
So she's going. Do they require vaccination?
She's already vaccinated.
Okay, but do they require? Did she have to get
I
one?
think so. I want to say
most of
yes.
them are.
I want to say yes.
Darian had to get his to go back.
Yeah. So that's like another thing too. It ain't just the NFL.
Right. Schools are requiring it.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, Herman, you want to say your final words and then we'll get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to echo what everybody else says. I'm excited to be back. I always look forward to doing the show with the fellas, and we're gonna try to have some guests on every couple weeks. Bring some of the fans in that want to participate, and join us for some shows. We definitely look forward to hearing you guys' opinion on things, and like Brian said, I'm just glad that we all made it out of this. Or we're making it out of it because it's not over yet, but we're making it out of this, safe and healthy. I mean, you guys, when you think back, when it was in the height of things and how crazy it got and stuff, but we made it through, and now we can get together a little bit and do some things. You never know, one of us might pop in at the other one spot for the show, so you might see that coming up too. But thank y'all for joining us, and just continue to watch and continue to give us your opinions and spread the word about our show. See if we can get our fan count up.
All right, so we out. So before we leave, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook in our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're also on Twitter at The Live Game 3. You can catch us on the gram.
We're really not on Twitter.
We're not really on Instagram either.
We're really not on Instagram.
We're not really on Instagram either, but we're at the Official Live Game on Instagram. So we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.